Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Now, a long while ago I made some biscuits which are called Abbey Crunch. Now, Abbey Crunch used to be a biscuit made by McVitie's, which is simply delicious. Golden syrup and oatmeal, rolled oats and flour, and nice and crunchy, and they really were very, very good. But for some reason, McVitie's stopped making them. So I discovered a recipe on how to make them, and I gave it a try, and they were very good. And I noticed on my blog yesterday that they're still getting quite a few hits for that recipe. So I thought, well, why not make them again, but this time do the video as well, so people who are still searching for them can see just how simple they are to make. So we'll get on with that. I have in this bowl 140 grams of softened butter. I have 140 grams of caster sugar, 140 grams of self-raising flour, 112 grams of rolled oats, 10 millilitres of golden syrup, 15 millilitres of milk, and a teaspoon of baking soda. So I've actually started to cream this butter, and then the next thing to do is to put the caster sugar in and cream it some more, and I'm doing it on a low speed. And then what I'm going to do is add the milk and the golden syrup, I'm going to mix that in as well. I'm going to sprinkle the baking soda into the flour and put the oats into the flour as well. And mix those together. Now I have the oven preheating at 150 Celsius, which is I think about 300 Fahrenheit, 130 Celsius with a fan. And I've got a couple of baking trays ready. So we'll pour the oats and flour into the butter mixture, and we're just going to mix that until it's all combined. So we'll then take our baking sheet. Now you can grease the baking sheets, or you can use baking parchment like I'm doing. And you want to make about 24 balls of this. So for simplicity, I'm going to take a knife and try to cut that in half. So I want 12 out of that, and I want 12 out of this. So that tells me I want 3 out of each of these. Okay, so I've divided those reasonably evenly into 24 balls. And what I'm going to do is just flatten them slightly. And then I'm going to bake those in the oven for about 25 minutes. It's quite a low heat. So I'll bake them in the oven for about 25 minutes until they should go a nice golden brown colour. Then I'm going to take them out and let them cool on a wire rack, and they will go nice and crispy. So I'll be back with you after they've come out of the oven. Our biscuits are out of the oven. They bake for 25 minutes. They've gone a nice golden colour, nice and baked underneath. They're still cooling down, so they're not quite as crisp as they will be once they've completely cooled down. Now, one thing that I should perhaps mention is that because there's baking soda in them, they will dome slightly as they cook. They begin to flatten out, but they'll dome slightly. And so what I tend to do is halfway through, I open the oven, and with a spatula, I just press to flatten them a little bit. Or you could do it when you take them out of the oven. But I tend to do it during the cooking process. And as you can see, they crack nicely. So let's taste one. I'll just take this one. It's nice and crunchy. It's got that lovely hit of golden syrup. I mean, you could, if you want, perhaps put half as much, so maybe 15 millilitres of golden syrup rather than the 10 that I put in. It depends on how much of the syrupy flavour you want. For me, these are just perfect. So that's it for this very, very simple recipe. If you've enjoyed it, please give me the thumbs up by clicking on the thumb under the video on YouTube. Also, click to subscribe so you can see the future videos that I make. And I will be back with you very soon with another recipe. So until then, happy baking.